And he also knows how to find properties that may not be listed so that he can pull rabbits out of a hat where most others could not, because his client base of ownership of smaller properties is just enormous. And in our business, what he does and what most people want to do is they continually want to trade up using the tax-deferred exchange methodology of a 1031 exchange. And through the years, you can keep trading up properties and eventually wind up with major properties in hand. And he's been very instrumental in helping a lot of people become very wealthy. He's extremely well known in the industry. I mean, basically everyone knows Terry Moore who's in the apartment business.
What is his best quality? And I think his technical knowledge of his field is amazing. His ability to relate it to new investors like my wife and I. We were talking earlier about that education that he gave us, and that's spot on. But even more than that is that sense of compassion that he has for you and your personal interest, that he has your best interest at heart. And I think that's why we've had such good transactions with him and why we'll keep having great transactions with Terry.
Yeah, I'd say he's extremely knowledgeable of the whole county and how it, again, how it functions. You know, where we live, everything kind of interconnects. Everything, there's little microcosms, if you will, within the real estate market throughout this county, and he understands how those function.
On the sell side, we took an aggressive approach, and once again, it took a little bit of patience, but we both felt the market was ready for the prices we had, and he was right. I think Terry's primary value to me while we were selling was picking the sales price. I thought we were a little too high initially, then I thought we weren't high enough, and we pretty much stuck to that same price and we got it. So knowing the market, knowing what the market would give us was something that I didn't have, and Terry did, and he turned out to be right.
And he's extraordinarily knowledgeable about his job. He knows what properties are worth, he knows about refinancing, he can answer all the questions you ask him.
He's very knowledgeable about the real estate industry, specifically the apartment part of the real estate industry. He's very knowledgeable. If I wanted to invest in apartments, he would be one of the first people I would go to ask questions about various properties.
Terry's one of the most knowledgeable brokers in his field, especially as it relates to apartment financing. I think he specializes in that. I don't know that he does a lot of other commercial type of property. He may, but most of my dealings with him have been on apartments, and he knows the market. He knows the players. He knows values. So I trust that anybody could ask Terry to speak at a conference or at a presentation and rely on his information with great credibility.
We bought a 20-unit building that was not even listed, and Terry remembered it was listed a couple of years ago, and he talked to the owner and he said, yeah, it's still for sale. So, bought that building and sold it 2 years later and made $1 million profit.